So as you guys can see, by following the rules of my simple trading system that you guys can learn completely for free in my Discord, we are already up $6,000 in literally 30 minutes. Let's see if I can hit my daily 1K profit goal day trading Forex on my live account with Fusion Markets. So first things first, let's do top-down analysis of my entire watch list. It's what I do every single day. It's a little later in the session. I usually start trading around 9, sometimes around 8 a.m. and it's currently 10 a.m. And for me, New York opens at 7:30 a.m. So this is like 3 hours after the fact. So there might not be much volatility, especially since it's Friday right now. So the probability of me taking a trade that'll make a significant amount of profit is probably pretty low, but we'll see what I can find. So on the daily on US 30, the Dow Jones, we are pushing up to the ultimate high area again. We're starting to show some kind of slowdown on the day one candle. So we'll look for rejections on the smaller time frame. So we're going down in the 1 hour. I have all these significant support levels. The 1 hour significant support and resistance levels marked out for the 1 hour time frame. And we're starting to show some kind of rejection right here, which could be possible that it could just be a flag in this overall downtrend. And it could be coming down for a retest of this support level before it pushes back up. But either way, or it could be a rejection of this top area, and this could be the reversal point. So either way, if this 5-minute candle closes in the next 3 minutes below this 5-minute structure right here, I would be very inclined to take a short position on US 30. So I'm going to set an alert right there. So that's what I'm looking for US 30 at the moment. Let's go check out Euro USD, my favorite market to trade. We've been tanking. As you guys can see, we need to see if we are getting rejections off of this support level right here that I've marked out. And we probably are on the smaller time frames. We're getting massive wicks anyways. No signs of real rejections on the 1 hour just yet. It kind of looks like it's going to continue to fill down into this area right here, which I should probably mark it out as right here like that. And then let's go to the 5-minute, see what's happening there. So this actually kind of looks healthy for short positions because it broke out of this consolidation zone right here. This would be the retest. Now it's coming back down. So I think it's probably going to fill down. So short positions here in the same 5-minute candle fashion, if it closes below these wicks right here on the 5-minute time frame, I would be inclined to take short positions on Euro USD as well. It would be a pretty large position for both the US 30 and the Euro USD, just because it is Friday. It's later in the session, so there's probably not going to be much price movement. So we actually want to maximize the profit made on micro price movements, which if you guys didn't know, that's pretty much the name of the game of scalping. Anyways, Solana, one of my favorite markets to trade, is starting to show massive rejections off of the top of this support level right here, which is fine because it looks like it came down for initial rejection, but now it's coming back up for a retest, and now it's having a consolidation day, which is why there's big wicks on this initial day candle close. But I think overall in the overall time frame, it's just like this is the initial reaction of the top macro resistance level. It's coming back up for a retest, and then it's showing signs of rejections back down, and now we just got a time for it to tank back down like that. And I think right now might be the time to be looking for shorts, especially because we are getting a rejection off the top of these 1 hour wicks right here. So on the 5-minute, it looks healthy to sell it, but we kind of missed the entry right here, but that's okay. So I'd be interested in taking sells if we get a candle close below there, just to gain in on the momentum. All of these positions are going to have super tight stop losses, but they're going to be large positions, so we could get stopped out really easily. But if price continues impulsively moving in our area, we're going to make some bank. And Bitcoin is usually reflective of every single crypto market. So whatever Bitcoin's doing is usually what the rest of the markets are doing. So we're getting a massive rejection off of this macro daily support, same as Solana, because like I said, Bitcoin is usually the predictor of every single crypto market. So if we're going short on, it looks like we're going to be going long actually on Bitcoin on the smaller time frames, because this is a massive macro daily support level right here. And we've had one rejection, we've had two rejections, and we're finally getting the push up, and now we're flagging down a bit. So I think this is just like a flag down, like something like that. Then it's going to fill back up. And we just got to time the correct spot to enter in on that momentum, which I'm thinking would probably be on this 5-minute price structure right there. So we'd be looking for some 5-minute candle closes green. I'm also going to post alert below that. So for the time being on Bitcoin, I'm interested in long positions just because when price is trading above this 5-minute structure area, it uses that as support. And when it's trading below it, it uses it as a resistance. So the most probable thing that'll happen when it gets down to it is that it'll reject off of it. Even if it's a small move, it'll still reject off of it, and we can play off that small rejection. Moving on to cable on the daily time frame is usually the same as Euro USD. So we're tanking down. I remember calling this out a couple days ago if you guys haven't watched the video, but I said like probably overall macro, this is probably going to be tanking down completely all the way down here just because it is showing signs of rejections off of this level right here. And what do you know? We are assuming that right now. We have yet to have a green candle close on the daily for the last 4 days, which is incredibly healthy. But I think eventually it's going to bounce back up into somewhere like here, and then it's going to continue chopping down. So on my investor account, actually, if this candle closes red, I'm going to wait for a bit of a pullback, a trace back, and then I'm actually going to enter in on a massive position on my investor account. And Bitcoin just hit one of our alerts, so we're going to go check that out. So on the time being, for cable, I'm not really interested in anything. Maybe bounces up, but let's see what the Bitcoin alert was for. We need to go down to the 5-minute. So if we get 2 candle closes green here on the 5-minute, right in the next like 7 minutes, I'm going to enter in a long position on Bitcoin. So USD CAD, one of my favorite markets as well. Clearly, I should have taken this on my investor account as well, which I said a couple days back where I called this out that after this green candle close, we're probably going to have a massive reversal. And what do you know? I'd be up a couple $100,000 on my investor account if I took this trade because we have yet to have a red candle close, which is insane. So I'm not really interested in anything right here because we have massive buying pressure. So I'd be interested in looking for some kind of resistance to happen right here, just because this is a big day resistance support level as well. So I'd be looking to take shorts off this position, even if it is just to initiate a flag in the overall downtrend before it comes back up. We can still play off of that daily candle flag, right? So Bitcoin is looking healthy for buys, possibly. Maybe we should have led this position. I should have entered early in my FOMO position, just because if Bitcoin moves, it likes to move quick, or just in general crypto markets. So it might have been smart for me to enter this position already and then just to get in on the momentum as it moves, because it can get away from us really quick in 10 minutes, and then it would invalidate our position unless we're trying to take like a very risky position trying to get in on the momentum. So right now, I want to do a further breakdown on cable just because I stopped on the 1 hour time frame. So daily, we said it was short bias. On the 1 hour, it looks like we might be getting some kind of resistance in this price area, which is pretty significant because we bounced off it a couple times on the higher time frames, but we are getting massive rejections right there as well. So I guess you could play buys for shorts, or you could play buys where it is right now for scalping purposes, but you don't want to get stuck in it because I think overall macro time frame, it's going to continue falling. So that's why I'm not that interested in taking a position on cable right now. So Bitcoin is the main one I'm looking for to take a position. I might lead it. Let's check out US 30. US 30 kind of invalidates our trade because it's continuing to push up. So the next thing we'd be looking for is for it to reject off the ultimate highs right there. But I think for US 30, since it is later in the session on Friday, there's probably not going to be much volatility anymore. But we can only hope. Nothing's happening on Euro USD as yet to break through this level. So the only thing I'm really looking for is Bitcoin, to be honest with you. I think I might FOMO trade this. I usually wait for 2 green candle closes to enter a position off of a rejection, but I think I'm going to lead this just because I think it is going to have a bit of a bounce up. It's risky because I think overall we are kind of in a downtrend. So it is risky, but if we do break below this level and get stopped out, it's possible I flip the bias and go short instead and then try to recuperate that loss. But for the time being, I'm entering in buys right now in Bitcoin, and we will see what happens with the trade. It's a pretty sizable position. I'm just going to wait to see if it's having massive, like, quick pushes down. So I think we are going to be pushing down further maybe. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to take it anyways, just because it is content reasons. It's a very sizable position. I'm risking $5,000 to make $10,000, but since this is live capital, I say this all the time in my videos, since I actually trade live capital, the probability of me holding trades to full take profit is actually pretty low, because usually once we push into profit, I like to lock in profits. And like that ruins my stats, quote unquote. But at the end of the day, if I'm making $1,000 a day, do I really give a fuck if my win rate is, or if my risk to reward is atrocious? No. At the end of the day, you can boast these crazy trading stats all you want, but I'm still banking $500, $1,000 a day, which I can withdraw and have it in my crypto account within 30 minutes from Fusion Markets. So I'm more worried about the money I'm fucking making of live capital than stats to make you feel good about your trading or whatever. Like I couldn't give a fuck about that shit. I care more about the money being made, but that's just my 2 cents. I think personally, I think you guys should throw all the static and noise of all this win rate, RR, or all the other bullshit. Like, yes, it can help you determine if you should be injecting capital into certain trading systems, but I don't give a fuck about any of those things, and my stats are okay. This is me not giving a fuck about my stats, by the way. For the last like month and a little bit, first week in January, $23,000 profit, 2.76 profit factor, 72% win rate. So if you guys care about stats, I guess that means something to you guys, but for me, I could care less. Like if I push up into $2,000 profit, which probably would be the candle wicking up here, it's possible I close the trade. Like I don't give a fuck about stats. I care about the live money I'm actually making and being able to withdraw it. Where most people that do care about stats, it's because they're on demo accounts or they're not on a live account with the prop firm, because I don't know, it's just for marketing purposes, I guess. So the fun part is now just to wait for the trade to play out and see what happens. And while this is rocking, I'm actually going to go make a coffee. So I'm going to set this up. My position is like, it's not a short position. What the hell am I doing, right? It's actually a long position right there. My stops are pretty tight. It should actually, I should have my stops below here, but that would probably be too much risk that I'm willing to do. So my stop is right here. It's a risky position, like I said, just because it is later in the session. So I want to maximize as much price movement as I can. So it is a big position, risking 5,000 to make 10,000, but the probability of me holding it to full take profit is pretty low. But I am going to hold it to full stop loss, most likely, because I think we're going to have a quick bounce. But I should have waited to see if this candle that's currently closing red, if it was going to close green first, because that would be my actual entry. That would be my actual entry. And if we get another red candle close here, it's probably going to stop us out, which is completely fine by me. Just because I did get on later today, and I'm currently up for the week as well, which I think this trade might actually wipe us out. No, we would still be up $4,000 for the week, even if this trade wipes this out for $5,000. Okay, I'm gonna go make a coffee and let this thing rock and roll. So we're finally pushing into profit, and since crypto is so volatile, you want to be actively managing it in your chair on the chart. Um, and so when you do push into profit, it can easily turn on you just because it is so incredibly volatile. So you don't want to miss out on profits when you got them, especially when you're trading live capital like I am, or if you're on like a prop firm and it allows you to trade crypto markets. It can easily turn on you. So lock in profits when you got them. If you're on like an eval, I would say fuck it, hold to take profit or stop loss. But if you're actually like locking in money, which you can eventually withdraw from the prop firm, God forbid they don't pay you out, or if you're on live capital with a reputable regulated broker like Fusion Markets, and you can actually have the money in your bank account eventually, take the profits when you got them, man. Nobody gives a fuck about stats, and you shouldn't either when it comes to actual money. You should only care about stats and shit when you're passing evals, but other than that, there's no reason to. Looks like we're getting the rejection off the top on the US 30 market. So if I wasn't in this trade with Bitcoin, I would probably take this after this 5 minute candle closed red, and then I put my stops above here, aim for the lows here. But since I am in this Bitcoin trade and it is pretty sizable, I am not going to take that trade because since we aren't getting a quick impulsive move up like I was expecting off of this area for Bitcoin, I'm starting to believe that we might get stopped out on it, but we'll see in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I think it'll either push into profit and then I'll cut the trade in like a couple $1,000s profit, or we'll get stopped out in the next 5 to 15 minutes. So let's wait to see what happens. So we're starting to get a massive push up now on this Bitcoin trade. So I'm actually going to be super conservative and I'm going to follow my stop loss just because crypto is so volatile with every single 1 minute candle close. So I'm going to be trailing my stop right here. And then if we get stopped out, we get stopped out. And then that's pretty much the trading session, man. We're getting a quick impulsive move up, which is really good. It makes it seem like it's incredibly healthy to continue pushing up. But I'm good with getting stopped out with $2,000 made, not including fees and commissions. So my trailing stop is now there, and we have completely eliminated risk now, which pretty much means that yes, we had to front $5,000 to be able to take this trade. But now, since we've moved significantly into profit, I'm actually able to eliminate that risk. And no matter what, we're making $2,000 now. So that's the cool thing about trading is once you're able to find these levels and once it pushes into your analysis, you're able to eliminate the risk you initially front. This is especially important if you're on a live capital account like I am with Fusion Markets, or if you're on a live account with your prop firm, because you should be locking in profits when you got them, when you're actually able to withdraw the money you're making. Like I previously said, if you're on an eval, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to be trailing my stop again right here. So trailing it just a little bit more, and we're locking in $3,400 now. So no matter what, we're making $3,400. So if this does decide to turn on us, I'm completely fine with it. It's a quick scalp, quick entry, quick exit. That's exactly what I want, especially on a Friday getting later into the session. It's only been like 30 minutes so far. And if I wanted to close this right now for $5,000, I could, but I'm going to hold to see if we get stopped out or if we can milk some more profits out of this trade. Okay, so I'm going to be trailing my stop again below this little 1 minute structure right there. And we will see if it'll continue pushing up a bit more or if it will stop us out. So at the very least, we're locking in $4,300 now. And this is also the cool thing with crypto is that it usually has these quick impulsive moves and you can really maximize the amount of money you can make with it. And it's not a terrible idea, especially with crypto markets, to follow your stop on top or below the most recent 1 minute candle close, because obviously, as you guys can see, even with the in previous data, you wouldn't get stopped out for a while until it actually decides to reverse. So that's pretty cool. Whether it's going down right here, you could trail your stop below the most recent 1 minute candle close and you wouldn't get stopped. Whereas with like FX pairs or the US 30, the Dow Jones, usually it chops up and down before it decides to choose a direction. And that's why if you watch my previous videos, when I trail my stop when I'm trading FX pairs or the Dow Jones, I get stopped out usually a lot earlier. Like if I was trailing my stop like this on the Dow Jones or an FX pair, I probably would have already got stopped off. But usually when crypto chooses a direction, it fucking flies in it. So that's why it's not a bad idea to trail your stop pretty tight like this, because you can maximize the amount of money you make. So I'm going to be trailing it again right below where price is right now, just so at the very least we're locking in $5,000 now. So we're probably going to get stopped out right here, but that's okay. So there's my trailing stop, because since we are scalping, taking advantage of micro price movements, we do have to take in consideration all these little 1 minute support levels that it could possibly have a reaction to. So we're obviously getting a little bit of a reaction right here, and it's possible that it flags down and then continues going up. But I don't personally want to wait for that just to get a couple extra $1,000 or a few more $1,000. I'd much rather get stopped out right now for $5,000 than having to wait like 2 more hours to maximize the profit by like $3,000 to $4,000. Like I'm completely fine making $5,000 in one single trade in 30 minutes. Like I said, that I can actually withdraw on a Friday. There it is. We just got stopped out for like $5,000. So I'm going to journal this trade and then I'm going to break it down for you guys one last time. Okay, so I just journaled the trade. It was for $5,218 and it was a long position on Bitcoin USD. The outcome was a win, obviously. And my confidence out of 10 was actually a 6 out of 10 just because it was before my FOMO entry off of a 1 hour support level. So that's why that's my trade notes right there. And let's break it down for you guys one last time. So on the daily, we're having rejections off of this massive macro daily support right here, but we started to show signs of rejections off this one down here to the upside, which is more apparent off the 1 hour. And as you guys can see, I marked out this 1 hour support resistance level right here. And when price is trading below where my cursor is, clearly we're using it as resistance levels multiple times. And when price is trading above it, we're using it as support. So the most probable thing is, since we were trading above it, is that we were going to have a bounce off of it, especially if we show signs of rejections off of it on the higher time frames, which we did, as you guys can see. So even if it is just a quick flag up, we're still able to maximize and get in on that trade for longs, even if it is just a quick little flag up like this, and then it comes back down and spikes down. So either way, that's what scalping is, just trying to get yourself into positions where you're either taking advantage of small price movements, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. In this case, it was a quick flag up off of this 1 hour support level. And price is bound to have some kind of reaction once it gets to these macro timeframes, higher timeframe support resistance levels. It's either going to bounce up around it like this, and then it's going to spike down, or it's going to decide that it's going to continue using it as a support or a resistance level and continue pushing back up. But either way, when you're scalping, you can take advantage of these little price movements when it flags up off of it. And that's exactly what I did right here. It was a sizable position because I knew that it wouldn't be that much of a price movement that I'm trying to take advantage of. And that's why I entered after this first green candle close, aiming for the highs right here, and then I just trailed my stop off the 1 minute time frame. Once we finally broke above this little support level right here, I started to actually trail my stop below every single green candle 1 minute candle close, until eventually we got stopped out right here for $5,218 in literally 30 minutes. If you guys want to learn my trading strategy completely for free, join my Discord. If you guys want to take these trades with me in real time or get alerted that I'm taking them, join my Discord as well. Everything's for free in there. And if you guys like this type of video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.